What's going on? What? I don't understand what's going on here.
Give me a break, give me a break.
Collecting Pokemon cards is not and never will be the same as it once was. I'm a longtime Pokemon fan of the Pokemon video game series. However, I was always intimidated by collecting the Pokemon cards because I knew it was a bit confusing to understand. So I was a bit turned off by it. It wasn't until I discovered this older gentleman on YouTube called the Deep Pocket Monster. He showed off a collection time video to do a master set collection of every single generation of Pokemon cards. I found the video super interesting and thought to myself, man, he's not even playing the game, he's just collecting them. That seems fun, but it was a done deal when I actually saw the artwork for those cards. That completely sold me on it. I wanted to get my hands on some of my favorite Pokemon with that cool artwork that they made. My favorite Pokemon is Eevee. I love Eevee because he can evolve into so many different Eeveeloutions. And what do you know, there's a set just so happens to have every one of my favorite Eevee types called Evolving Skies. One of the most expensive sets of all of Pokemon. I love Eevee, but I really love Shiny Umbreon. I realized very quickly I will not be spending $1,000 on a set that has the lowest pull rates for a really nice card that I want. So I did the next best thing and tried to pull from the current set at the time, which was Palladian Fates. I thought it was cool and it was a fun set to collect, while the set was constantly being sold at MSRP, also known as Market Standard Retail Price. As 2024 came to an end, I heard that Pokemon International Card Company released an email saying that they're going to release another Eevee Pokemon card set. I get super excited and say to myself, next year I'm going to get to the Pokemon cards for Eevee. I said to myself, I will get those cards before the scalpers get to it no matter what. I'll get up super early in the morning and save up just enough time and save up just enough to get the cards that I want before they get too expensive. Well, it's 2025. The cards dropped last weekend and they're already overpriced. The official Pokemon Center website had sold out of Prismatic Evolutions before the first 10 minutes of it being out while releasing it. So the online route was immediately no longer an option. Like, I just joined the hobby and I'm playing and competing like it's a national sport just to get a chance to participate in the hobby. I sent messages to 4 different people. 2 of them are in different states. One was a coworker and the other was a family member. Yet nobody was able to get any of them for me. Not to mention that the release date for the drop of Prismatic Evolution set came out on a Friday morning. But get this, none of the stores stocked early for the day before. I went to 8 different stores before I went to go to work. Here's a footage I recorded as an attempt to go buy some for retail price. This target struck out. Now I gotta get one more target. This one opens at 7. The next one opens at 8. It's down the street, but this is my last chance. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get any Prismatic Evolutions from any of the stores. It was cool to see people trying to get the cards before the scalpers, but it wasn't until I went to Target where I noticed that people who are rude weren't really there for the thrill of the hunt, but to buy out the whole store if they could. One of the guys even tripped me on the way there, when there weren't even any cards there. I don't know, there's too many rude people in the community, and to top it off, after an unsuccessful hunt for some Pokemon cards, I ended up getting into a fender bender on the way to work. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not blaming Pokemon for the fender bender that I got myself into. It's just that I'm not the type of person to lose focus while driving. Usually, I'm a very cautious driver. However, I know better not to drive downtown due to drivers being really bad in my town, especially during the craze of the early morning traffic. I put a lot of mental preparation into getting to every store in my city, trying to find a time zone to get to work on time, which resulted in me rushing to get to work while stressed out about not being able to get any Pokemon cards. But after that incident, I realized that I was doing too many dangerous and dumb things. I usually plan out my way to work, get up early to avoid the traffic, and I never drive while I'm upset or stressed out because, you know, you're more susceptible to distractions that way, which can result in an accident. It's definitely my fault. However, being in the hobby, I realized the market is too saturated with factors and problems, and that stressed me out, which resulted in me getting into an accident. It's just an overall bad week for me. It's too hard to keep up with the craze of scalpers, resellers, and people who are literally willing to fight over Pokemon cards. I really tried to join the hobby, especially with its highest hurdles being the community itself, but it's just too dangerous for a game that I haven't even learned to play yet. I just wanted to start playing with a set of cards that I liked that were some of my favorites. It's not impossible, but it isn't cheap either. I heard of people playing the new Pokemon TCG Pocket game, but I'm not a very lucky person when it comes to online gambling. I know it's supposedly no difference, but I always have the sneaking suspicion that if I'm not spending money on the app, then my luck for pulling the cards won't be that great. Here are some good pulls that I managed to get though. Either way, I'm more of a physical collector, which another collector I saw on YouTube told me that I should try other stores like Best Buy and GameStop's online store. Sure enough, they ended up having them. I don't think many people knew about the site selling Pokemon cards on the website because I never knew them for doing that anyways. I was able to buy some, however there was a buy limit, which I'm perfectly okay with because I believe that is fair. Here's what I managed to get. It's not much, but it's what I got. I managed to get something which allowed me to participate in the game. I shared the Pokemon code cards with one of my Discord friends that plays the Pokemon TCG online. He enjoyed it and was able to get some pretty nice pulls too. I try my best to spread the fun all around when it comes to Pokemon because I remember what the Deep Pocket Monsters channel told me. It's about the fun memories you get the opportunity to make with the community. Try to make the community positive as best as you can. That's all I have to say about that. As for me, I'll be doing my collecting through TCG Player Delivery from now on. It's safer for me that way. As for everyone else, stay safe everyone and have a good Sunday. What you pull? Regigigas, execute. The Jolteon?
I got 2 of these.
That was nice. The Jolteon?
That energy looks different. It's a lot darker. Oh no, it was hollow. That's why.
The train headed for the Mystic Ruins will be departing soon.